Beachy Community League, and I'm out here today with my friends from the Edmonton Trail community, and I wanted to talk to you about the things that you should wear while going outside and just enjoying the great outdoors in Edmonton. So let's go meet some of our friends and see what they wear.
And I am a member of the Edmonton Trail community, and sometimes I will lead an intermediate hike. And so some people might wonder, what does that actually mean? So for an intermediate hike, we're usually looking at a pretty quick pace, so you really want to move pretty well. And sometimes the terrain is a little more technical, some more ups and downs, and those would be the main things. So we're moving at a pretty quick pace in the terrain, and sometimes a little bit more time. So we're looking at about an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes for the distances that we go. Because usually we go by time, not necessarily kilometers. So on a typical winter day, today is not actually a typical winter day, just a little FYI, but on a typical winter day, I would wear at least 2 layers on my bottoms, in terms of I'd have 2 pairs of tights, 1 pair over the other, a lighter weight on the bottom that's a little more moisture wicking, and then something over the top. And then I like to wear my hiking skirt. I find it gives a little bit more padding, just a little bit more warmth around the upper part of my body, because I get very cold. For socks, I really like to have the merino wool socks. I find they keep my feet a lot warmer. In terms of the upper body, I like to wear a tank. Then I usually have a really light base layer, then a mid-weight, and then over the top I have a jacket. So usually that's pretty good. Usually whenever I look at the weather, that's really determines what I'm actually going to wear, because oftentimes it's easy to think -15, I'm going to freeze. But actually with just 3 layers, moving really well, you actually get quite warm and you can get really sweaty. So to talk about some things you probably shouldn't necessarily wear in like that -15, you probably don't need snow pants. You're going to get really, really overheated if you wear snow pants around that, -10 or whatever. That's just too much. Winter coat, this seems like a really, really good idea. You're like, wow, just put all the warmth in 1 layer. But the problem is you will heat up. So within 10-15 minutes, your heart rate's going, you're starting to sweat, you're getting really, really warm. This traps all the heat in, you really, really sweat. And because it's 1 big layer, you can feel that you can't take it off because you're in -15. So it's a lot more difficult to vent. Having the layers makes it so much easier to just take something off and switch it out in order to help yourself cool down a little bit. But I find that this just is a little bit too much. And then these are actually one of my most favorite pair of boots ever, but absolutely not for hiking. The terrain that we use, it's surprising. In Edmonton, on the single track, there's ups and downs, there's climbs, there's all sorts of things left, right, and center. And you have no idea that it's there because it's hidden in the river valley. And these, for me, just don't give enough traction. So this would not be a good boot because you really want to have traction. Even these here shoes that I have are kind of a trail running shoe, and they work pretty well, but I will always throw my grips on just for that extra stability and comfort level, so that I know that I will not be slip sliding all over the place. I really want to have good grip. So all these are super warm and one of my favorite pair of boots. Not great for hiking. Sometimes when I go out, I like to have a backpack. So I've got this one here, I really like my bright one, although it's not the most comfortable on the shoulders for a super long hike. Just so I have if I need some hydration, or if I need some food, or even to carry my extra spikes. And sometimes, because I like to carry extra things sometimes.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm going to talk about running and the cold weather. Typically, I wear ice bugs, which have little cleats on the bottom of them. You can't really see them. I wear merino wool socks. Highly recommend those, super warm. I kind of cheat a bit when it's really cold. And I've got little booties on that are neoprene, which keep me even warmer. I wear Right now, it's really cold, so I'm wearing 3 layers. I'm wearing 2 layers of thermal tights, and I have a pair of merino wool long johns on that are 87% merino wool. Super warm. Today's very cold, so I have 2 jackets, 2 lighter jackets on. This is just a Costco $25 jacket, which is quite warm. I have a Mech cross-country ski jacket. Got it on sale. It's super warm and good for the wind. I have a I have a light fleece jacket on. I have a Costco shirt on, which has a bit of merino wool, and I have an old, very thin merino wool shirt on. I also have merino wool buff, and I have actually 2 hats on. Typically, I wear 2 hats, 2 thin hats, and if I get hot, I take one off. Hand warmers are essential. And I have gloves. These have a little bit of merino wool in them, not too much, but they're super warm. And then over there I put these gloves on, and these ones have a little bit of fleece in them, which keeps me very warm. Typically, I don't wear this much as it's not usually this cold. I usually have a pair of leggings and my merino wool long johns on, 1 jacket, and I have usually only 2 tops on and 2 thinner hats. I typically don't wear a buff, but most people do. Tell me when to go.
We're good.
And these are typically what I would not wear no matter how cold it is to go running or hiking. This is a very, very thick down jacket, which is very bulky. It's quite warm and you just can't move a lot in it. And these are snowboard pants, very warm, but yet again, they're too bulky and you just can't get the movement in. They're too heavy, and you won't get the mobility that you would in the tights. And these are pretty heavy gloves. So if you're up in the trails here, you need to grab onto a tree, or you need to sort of bear crawl up a hill, you won't get the grip with these. And that's why I use 2 thinner ones, so I can grip onto anything and hold onto a tree or a root if I need to. Good to go.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I run the social group for PACE with Edmonton ETR. So what I'm wearing today is a puffy coat, a pair of mitts, a buff, a fleece lined toque. With the puffy coat, I do wear a couple layers underneath, a thin cotton coat underneath, with the running wear from Under Armour. Now I bought these on sale, which is great. They were $30. They're light fleece where I can double layer them up. Underneath that, I do have a cotton tank top that I purchased from Old Navy for $5.99. Because I run on the bigger size, I do tend to wear a pair of sweatpants that are just good old ones that came from wherever, whenever. Underneath that, I do wear a pair of leggings, again, bought from Old Navy for $5.99, and a pair of Under Armour 2.0 base wear. Shoes are a waterproof Hoka, with underneath that being a pair of Icebreaker wool socks. So things not to wear would definitely be over layering. So we do have snow pants. Now that is something you think when you're going to be cold is fantastic, but it restricts your movement and makes it hard to go through. So when you also look at that, you do not want to put on too many layers. So grabbing a large hoodie, sometimes you think would be great. It's not. It covers up too much. The arms, your blood flow doesn't work as well. So when you go through that, you don't want to put on too many of the fleece layers. They sound warm, but once again, you're not pulling the body moisture away from you. It's all piling up on you. And large gloves. They look cute and they can be functional, but if your hands are too cold, your hands are not actually going to warm up. And then if you double layer with all the fleece as well, you can't breathe. One thing I like to do with my Under Armour wear is not use fabric softener on it, because then the wicking does not happen with your clothes.
The Katulas?
Oh, yeah. I have Katula, or these are Amazon knockoffs to Katula. They are fantastic. They were $20. They're a very heavy, gives you a chance to feel sturdy on your feet, especially if you're walking out where you're not used to going. Double wider, they work as well, but single track is what we've been using them for. I have them for my kids as well. A little bit of a confidence booster compared to something else.
Some of the things I run pretty hot. So even though it's minus 34, I would be going outside. I'd be a bit chilled, but like I've got one pair of underleggings, so merino wool, nice and comfortable. I put these guys as my top pair. Same thing with my socks. My socks are merino wool. I've got a little base layer inside, so a little t-shirt, and then once again a little wool. Gloves. My buff. Yippers. Good hat. And usually what happens is that as I'm running, if I can find my other thing here, I get very hot. That's what happens when you get bald. But who knew? So then I'll just transfer out and I'm good to go. So usually this is like my first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's cold. But then I warm up really great and I'm off to the races. So what not to wear? This is always the fun part. These guys suck. Okay, just so you know, you're gonna put them on, you're gonna feel awkward, it's gonna be hard for your mobility, especially if you wanna move a little bit quicker. So I would say try to stay away from it. Big jacket. Now, it may feel great when you get out of your warm car and you're like, oh, I feel awesome. But about 5 minutes into it, you're just gonna be sweating and you're just gonna be overheating, which kind of sucks. And once again, now, even though I think today I'll be wearing these guys, it's like, mobility wise, think of that. I love the comparison there. Otherwise, you got to go out there and have fun, right? So you want to be comfortable, well dressed, equals having fun at minus 34. Yeah. Woohoo!
Now that you've learned how to do hiking and running in the great outdoors, you can also do biking in the winter. It's awesome. So get outside.
Get outside.
And get fit and have fun. Woo!
Woo!